So I want to clearly understand your position. As FDA commissioner, will you maintain current access to Mifepristone, yes or no?
Senator, I'll be very clear about my position. My position is that of a scientist. As you know, part of the REMS, the Risk Evaluation Mitigation Strategy, that was put in initially by President Clinton and that administration, and then modified under Obama, and then again under President Biden, requires ongoing data collection. So I can't prejudge that data without looking at it.
So you said something about convening an ongoing panel.
I did not mention
A previous question.
I did not mention a panel. I said I would convene the scientists. They're professional career scientists at the FDA who have reviewed the totality of data on this and are also looking at ongoing data that is being collected. There could be, for example, Senator, a drug-drug interaction that may show up on the ongoing data.
So I want to ask if that's your approach to something that has been approved for now decades. Are you going to do the same with Tylenol? There are a lot of side effects for daily use, including liver damage. Will you be doing that for Tylenol?
As you may know, Senator, Tylenol does not have a regulation requiring a REMS, a risk evaluation mitigation.
I'm not asking whether it does or not. I'm asking, are you going to do ongoing surveillance of the possible side effects for that drug that was approved many years ago? How about asthma inhalers that have been associated with osteoporosis, opportunistic lung infections? Are you going to be doing that for those medications?
Senator, I will be following the law, and the regulation requires an ongoing review.
You're going to have a totally different approach to this.
So the public can understand there's lots and lots of data here that supports the safety and efficacy of Mifepristone and supports its efficacy in its current, under current law and its safety. So I think the concern you're hearing is not about whether you will follow an ongoing REMS process with any medication and look at the most current data. That's what the scientific process is about. The concern is whether you are going to unilaterally overrule the data that currently exists for political purposes and for political reasons. And that's what we're looking for your reassurance on. You have told us you are an independent scientist. I believe that. You have a very distinguished career as a physician. But we need to know that when you say you're an independent scientist, that's really what you mean. And then when the politics get heated around abortion, that you won't abandon that independence.
Senator, you have my commitment that once I'm in office, I will do a review of the data. I have no preconceived plans to make changes to the Mifepristone policy, and I do plan to follow the law and the regulation of the REMS to look at ongoing data. It could be that there could be a drug-drug interaction that we could identify.
I understand that, but what I am looking for is an understanding that the current state of science, in the process that you have been a participant in throughout your entire career, and that others up here have also participated in, that you will follow the science as it is currently developed and not unilaterally overrule scientists because you're under political pressure to do that.
Senator, if you look at my track record, I have never been afraid to speak my honest scientific opinion, and I have no preconceived plans to make changes on that medication.
Well, I wish you were hedging a little bit less today.
Given the FDA's own findings on this drug over 2 decades, doesn't it make sense that the FDA return to the pre-political, before the political intervention of the Biden administration, the pre-political protocol that requires in-person dispensing for chemical abortion drugs?
Senator, I appreciated our conversation prior to this hearing. I do think it makes sense to review the totality of data and ongoing data. I know personally of OB doctors who prefer to insist, even though they have the option to prescribe otherwise, but they choose to insist that Mifepristone be taken when necessary in their office as they observe the person taking it. And I think their concern there is that if this drug is in the wrong hands, it could be used for coercion.
And of course, you're familiar with the fact that now it's not merely that there's no requirement that it be ingested in the presence of a physician. There's no in-person dispensing requirement whatsoever. This is what the Biden administration, 2 decades of in-person dispensing requirements, the Biden administration eliminated those. Now, you've said several times you'll review the data. You're aware that in 2016, the Obama FDA eliminated the requirement that physicians report adverse events with regard to mifepristone, aren't you?
I believe they limited the data required to fatalities, but not adverse events.
Will you put back in place the full reporting requirements so that you can have a full range of data to evaluate?
Senator, I'm happy to look at that. I do believe in data, and I don't believe in prejudging data before somebody has taken a look at data, including future data.